I woke up to the smell of pancakes. My eyes fluttered open, and for a second, the sunlight streaming through the window made me think it was just another ordinary day. Then I remembered. Lucas's birthday, I whispered, a smile creeping across my face. Dad, come downstairs. Lucas's small voice called from the bottom of the stairs. I threw off the blanket and ran. You're early, I said, ruffling his hair as he sprinted into the kitchen. Because it's my birthday. Look what Mommy made. He pointed at the stack of pancakes shaped like dinosaurs, dripping with syrup. Rachel smiled from the stove. Good morning, sleepyhead. Don't forget, the big day isn't just for pancakes. Her tone was cheerful, but I noticed a flicker in her eyes. I pushed it aside. They look amazing, I said, setting Lucas on the chair. Did you make them all by yourself, kiddo? Lucas grinned. I helped a little. I poured the syrup, see? I can tell. Looks like a masterpiece, I said, biting back the sudden lump in my throat. I love mornings like this. The simple chaos, the warmth, this was my life. Rachel handed me a plate. Eat before it gets cold. You'll need energy to survive the birthday party. I laughed. Energy? For surviving Lucas's excitement, you mean? Lucas bounced in his seat. I want presents first. Can I open them first? Not yet, I said, trying to sound stern. Breakfast comes first. You know the rules. I know, he whined, but his eyes sparkled. Rachel leaned against the counter. You know, he's growing up so fast. 6 years already. Her smile was soft, but something about her voice made me uneasy. I can't believe it. I know, I said, meeting her gaze. Her hand lingered on the counter, fingers tapping nervously. I shook my head. Stop reading into things, I told myself. She's just worried about the party. Lucas giggled. Daddy, you're eating slow. Hurry. I chuckled. I'm savoring it, buddy. Don't want it to end too fast. I watched him shovel syrup-coated pancakes into his mouth. His joy was infectious. I felt my chest tighten with love. Rachel cleared the plates, avoiding my eyes. Do you want coffee, hon? Yes, please. Black, I said. She hesitated a beat too long, then walked to the counter. I ignored it, smiling at Lucas. So, what do you want for your birthday, little man? I asked. Lucas's eyes lit up. A big dinosaur cake. And maybe a robot, too. Dinosaur cake it is, I said. And we'll see about the robot. Rachel finally spoke, her voice quieter. I need to tell you something later, okay? After the party. I laughed, thinking she was joking. Something serious or birthday secret? Birthday secret, she said, forcing a smile. Don't worry, nothing scary. I ruffled Lucas's hair again. Lucas, today's going to be unforgettable, I promise. Pancakes, presents, cake, everything perfect. He beamed. Best birthday ever. I held him close for a second, inhaling the scent of syrup and birthday candles I hadn't lit yet. I had no idea this day would change everything. Rachel smiled faintly from across the room, still avoiding my eyes. I didn't notice the tremor in her hands. I just thought, everything's perfect. And for now I was wrapping Lucas's presents when my phone buzzed. I glanced at Rachel's phone on the counter. She'd left it unlocked. A text popped up. We need to talk. Tonight. Alone. Don't tell him. My heart thudded. Rachel. I called, trying to keep my voice steady. Whose phone is this? She peeked over her shoulder, a tight smile on her lips. Mine. What? I held it out. This message. Who's Mark? Her face flickered. Mark? Oh, just a coworker. What? We need to talk. Alone. Don't tell him. That doesn't sound like just a coworker. I tried to keep calm, but my throat felt dry. Rachel leaned against the counter, avoiding my gaze. It's nothing. Just work stuff. Don't worry. Work stuff? It doesn't sound like work. I put the phone down slowly, trying not to let panic take over. 6 years. 6 years I trusted you. And now I'm supposed to just believe this is nothing? Her eyes filled, but she still wouldn't meet mine. I didn't want to ruin the day. Lucas's birthday. You didn't want to ruin it. I repeated, anger rising. Do you have any idea how much I trusted you? How happy I thought we were? She whispered, I didn't want to hurt you. I never wanted to hurt you. I don't know what to believe anymore. I ran my hands through my hair. All those late nights, the phone calls you hid, were they for him? Were they about him? Rachel flinched. I said it's nothing, okay? Please. Just drop it for today. Let's focus on Lucas. I paced, trying to steady myself. My mind flashed back over the past 6 years, little things I'd ignored. The trips she claimed were work-related but smelled like excuses. The mysterious dinners she couldn't explain. I had always brushed it off. I trusted you, I muttered to myself. And now I don't know what's real. Please don't do this now, she pleaded, her voice trembling. I'll explain later. I promise. I stopped pacing, gripping the edge of the counter. Later? How many laters have we had? How many times did I trust you and you left me in the dark? Rachel's hand reached for mine, but I jerked back. I can't just pretend everything's fine. Not when there's Mark. Not when this text exists. Her eyes darted to the floor. It's complicated. You wouldn't understand if I tried to explain now. Try me, I said, voice tight. I want the truth. I deserve the truth. She swallowed hard. I can't. Not today. Please, don't make Lucas's birthday worse. Just be happy with him today. Can you do that? I clench my fists. I'll try, but my head isn't in the party anymore. I can't lie to myself. Lucas ran in, holding a small toy car. Daddy, look. Can you play with me? His innocent smile stabbed me. I forced a smile. Of course, buddy. Let's play after breakfast. Rachel quietly left the kitchen, muttering something about checking on party arrangements. I watched her go, suspicion twisting my stomach. I couldn't shake the text. We need to talk. Alone. Don't tell him. Who was he? And why did it feel like everything I believed in was slipping through my fingers? I sat back down with the presents half-wrapped, trying to push the fear aside. But my mind raced. Every small lie, every unexplained call, every uneasy glance suddenly made sense. Or at least, made me question everything. I told myself I'd wait. Tonight, after Lucas was asleep, I'd demand answers. But already, I felt the first crack in my perfect life spreading. And I didn't know if I could stop it from shattering completely. The party started with a bang. Lucas's friends running everywhere, balloons flying, and Rachel directing the chaos like a seasoned general. I couldn't stop smiling, even when I stepped on a stray toy car. Dad, look at my hat. Lucas shouted, spinning in a cone-shaped party hat that barely fit. You look amazing, buddy, I said, ruffling his hair. Best birthday boy ever. Rachel hovered nearby, forcing a cheerful smile, but I noticed her hands trembling as she passed out party favors. Everything's ready, I asked, glancing at her. Yes, everything's perfect, she said, avoiding my eyes. I shrugged off the nagging unease. Stop reading into things, I told myself. Today was for Lucas. Emily appeared by my side, holding a tray of cupcakes. Hi, he looks so happy, she said, smiling warmly. You did a great job with everything. Thanks, Emily, I said, shaking her hand. Rachel really went all out. Emily hesitated, glancing at Rachel. Yeah, she did. He's lucky, you know. Her tone carried a strange weight. What do you mean? I asked, puzzled. Oh, nothing, Emily said quickly, flashing a smile. Just enjoy today. That's all. I frowned but didn't press. I was still riding high on Lucas's excitement. You ready for cake, little man? I asked, crouching next to him. Yeah, let's do it. Lucas cheered, dragging me to the table. Rachel lit the candles, hands shaking ever so slightly. Make a wish, Lucas, she said softly. He closed his eyes tight. I wish Daddy and Mommy never stopped smiling. I laughed, hugging him. I'll try, buddy. I'll try. He opened his eyes and blew out the candles in one breath. Everyone cheered. I glanced at Rachel. Her eyes glistened. She hugged me tightly from behind, whispering, I need to tell you something later. My stomach flipped, but I smiled back, hiding the sudden pang of worry. Okay, we'll talk later, I murmured, patting her arm. Guests crowded around, taking pictures and chatting. I laughed with Lucas's friends, tossing him in the air and catching him, feeling like nothing could touch us. Yet in the back of my mind, Emily's words lingered. He's lucky, you know. Rachel kept slipping away for a moment here and there, answering phone calls in hushed tones or adjusting decorations nervously. Every time I caught her eye, she looked away. I told myself it was just party stress. Uncle Jake, watch this, Lucas shouted, running toward a group of kids with a toy plane. I laughed, clapping. Careful. Don't crash it on anyone. Emily sidled up again, whispering to me, sometimes the people closest to us keep secrets. Just pay attention. I froze, forcing a laugh. Thanks? I'll remember that. She gave me a knowing look and moved on, leaving me with a pit in my stomach. I wanted to push it away, focus on Lucas, but my mind kept circling back to Rachel. The afternoon blurred with laughter, games, and gifts. Lucas tore through wrapping paper like a little tornado, shouting every few seconds, "Daddy! Look! Daddy! Look!" I grinned, lifting him up each time to see what he'd gotten. "That's awesome, buddy. You got the robot you wanted." "Yeah, and the dinosaur cake." He ran to Rachel, holding up the small cake he'd decorated with her help. "Beautiful work, Lucas," I said, watching him beam. I reached for Rachel, but she ducked behind the table, wiping her hands on her apron. I smiled, telling myself she was just busy, but the unease wouldn't leave. The cryptic messages, Emily's hints, Rachel's avoidance, all of it pressed against the back of my mind. Yet here I was, laughing, holding Lucas, pretending everything was perfect. I hugged him tight, feeling the warmth of the room, the noise, the happiness. "Best birthday ever, huh?" I whispered. "Yeah," Lucas shouted, hugging me back. Rachel came up behind me again, hugging me from the side. "I need to tell you something later," she whispered once more. I nodded, swallowing the lump in my throat. "Okay, later," I said, forcing a smile. "For now, let's enjoy this day." And for Lucas, I tried. After the party wound down, Lucas finally fell asleep, clutching his new robot like it was a treasure. I tiptoed into the living room, expecting to find Rachel there. "You wanted to talk?" I asked, keeping my voice calm, but my hands trembling. Rachel looked up from the couch, her face pale. "Yeah, I need to tell you something." "About what?" I asked, taking a seat across from her. My heart was pounding, and I had to force myself to breathe. She hesitated, biting her lip. "It's complicated." "Complicated how?" I leaned forward. "You told me it was nothing earlier. Now you're saying it's complicated. I don't understand." I know, she said, fidgeting with her fingers. "I wanted to tell you at the party, but I couldn't. I didn't want to ruin it for Lucas." I closed my eyes, rubbing my temples. "You're ruining it for me right now." Her eyes filled with tears. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't know how to say it." "Then say it now." My voice rose, though I tried to keep it in check. 6 years, Rachel. 6 years I've trusted you completely. And now you drop this vague nonsense on me. "I'm trying," she whispered. "It's not that simple." "Not simple? You've been hiding something from me for 6 years, and it's not simple." I leaned closer, my pulse racing. "You owe me the truth. I can handle it, Rachel, but you have to speak." She looked away, shaking her head. "I can't. Not tonight. I can't." "Why not? Because you're scared? Because it might hurt me? Or because it's about him?" My voice cracked. I couldn't stop myself. "I need to know." Rachel flinched, the words cutting her like knives. It's complicated. There are things you don't know, things I didn't plan on happening. Please just give me time." I slammed my hands on the coffee table. "Time? I've given you 6 years. How much more time do you need before you stop protecting secrets and start being honest with me?" Her shoulders shook. "I'm trying to be honest. I am, I promise. It's just not tonight. Can we please wait until later?" "Later?" I repeated, my chest tightening. "You've said later before. How many laters are we allowed before the truth actually comes out?" She whispered, almost pleading. "I can't. Please. Not tonight. I'll explain. I swear. Just, please, don't push me right now." I ran my hands through my hair, pacing the living room. My mind was a storm of fear and confusion. What could she possibly be hiding? Every scenario raced through my head. Betrayal, lies, something about Lucas, or maybe something worse. "Do you realize how helpless you're making me feel?" I asked, my voice quieter now, but no less intense. "I can't sleep. I can't think straight. I can't even be fully happy for Lucas when I know you're keeping something from me." Rachel reached out for my hand. "Please, let me explain when the time is right. I promise I will. Not tonight. Can you trust me for a little while longer?" I stared at her, my chest tight with frustration and doubt. "I don't know if I can. I want to trust you, Rachel. I really do. But every fiber of my body is screaming that something is wrong. I can't just sit here pretending everything is fine. I know, she said softly, tears spilling down her cheeks. I know I've broken that trust. I'm so sorry. I need a chance to fix it. Not tonight, but soon. I swear. I shook my head, feeling the tension coil tighter in my chest. I can't fix this. Not tonight. I can't even start. All I can do is wait, and that feels impossible. She nodded, her voice barely audible. I'll tell you soon. I promise. For Lucas, for you, for us. Just not tonight. I sank into the couch, staring at the ceiling. My thoughts were a whirlwind, and I felt trapped in a storm I couldn't control. Fine, I muttered, though my stomach nodded. But tomorrow I need answers. No more complicated. I need the truth. Rachel reached for my hand again, but I didn't respond. I just sat there, my mind racing with possibilities, feeling the weight of a secret that could shatter everything. The days after Lucas's birthday fell off, like the air itself was heavier. I kept noticing small things, receipts in Rachel's purse for places I'd never heard of, calls she hushed whenever I walked by, texts she deleted too fast to read. Rachel, I asked one evening, sliding a crumpled receipt across the counter, what's this? She glanced at it and tensed. Oh, just groceries. I must have grabbed it at the other store. I've never been to that store with you. I kept my voice calm, though my stomach twisted. Since when do you shop there? It's new, she said quickly. I just wanted to try it. That's all. I stared at her, noticing the flicker in her eyes. Something about her words fell off. You're hiding something, aren't you? Rachel's fingers twisted in her apron. No, not really. I don't want you worrying about nonsense. I shook my head. Nonsense? Well, has hiding things from me ever been nonsense? Every time you brush me off, it eats at me. I can't ignore it anymore. Her eyes darted to the floor. I'm trying. Can we just not fight tonight? I ran a hand over my face, exhaling sharply. I'm not fighting. I'm asking for honesty. If we can't be honest, I don't know what we have left. She stayed silent. That silence made my blood boil. I couldn't let it go. The next day, my phone rang. An unknown number. Hello, I said, voice tight. This is Harris, said a calm, familiar voice. Detective Harris. I was friends with your dad and worked with you years ago. Rachel's been acting strange. You might want someone impartial looking at things. I froze. Harris? Are you serious? I am. If you want, I can help you track patterns. Maybe uncover if there's something you should know. Don't wait until it's too late. I swallowed hard. Yeah, okay. I'll need your advice. Things don't add up at home. Good. I'll stop by later, Harris said. We'll sort it out carefully. Don't confront anyone yet. After I hung up, my eyes landed on Rachel, who had been folding laundry in the living room. I tried to keep my voice neutral. Harris called. Oh, okay, she said casually, but her hands paused mid-fold. I narrowed my eyes. You didn't expect that, did you? What do you mean? She kept folding, avoiding my gaze. I leaned against the counter. You know exactly what I mean. I'm not blind, Rachel. Things aren't right. I see the calls you dodge, the texts you delete, the receipts you hide. I'm noticing, and I'm not going to ignore it. Her face paled. You're overreacting. It's nothing. Just give me some space, okay? I clenched my fists. Space? I've given you space for 6 years. I trusted you completely, and now I feel like I'm living with a stranger in my own house. I can't do that anymore. Rachel's eyes filled, but she didn't argue. She just kept folding, avoiding me. I turned away, running a hand through my hair. My mind raced. I can't trust her anymore. I need answers. I can't just wait for her to decide when to tell me the truth. Later that evening, I went through the small details, the old receipts, the phone logs, the subtle patterns I'd ignored before. Each little thing was a thread, and I realized I had to follow them, no matter where they led. Harris, I said when he arrived, I need your help. Something's wrong, and I need someone to help me figure it out before it destroys everything. Harris nodded. We'll do it methodically. No jumping to conclusions, but we'll track everything. If something's hidden, we'll find it. I felt a strange mix of relief and dread. Relief because I finally had someone on my side, dread, because I knew this was only the beginning. My trust was cracking, and I couldn't ignore the evidence anymore. Rachel watched silently from the couch as Harris and I discussed the plan. She looked guilty, but she didn't speak. I didn't expect her to. I only wanted the truth. For the first time, I realized I wasn't just a husband blindly trusting my wife anymore. I was a man seeking answers, whether she liked it or not. And once I started down this path, there was no turning back. I held the stack of evidence in my hands. Receipts, deleted messages recovered from backups, suspicious phone call logs. My chest ached, but I couldn't let it go. I needed answers. "Rachel," I said, voice tight as I stepped into the living room. "We need to talk. Now." She looked up from the couch, startled. "What is it?" Her voice sounded calm, but I saw the tremor in her hands. I slammed the papers on the coffee table. "Don't lie to me. I have everything. Every call, every message, every little thing you try to hide for 6 years." Her eyes widened. I can explain. Explain. I snapped. 6 years, Rachel. 6 years I trusted you. And all this time, you've been lying to me. "I didn't want to hurt you," she cried, standing, her voice breaking. "I never wanted to hurt you. It wasn't supposed to happen this way." I took a deep breath, forcing myself to stay steady. "Then tell me the truth. Right now. I need it." She sank back onto the couch, covering her face. "Lucas, he might not be yours." The words hit me like a punch. I staggered back, blinking. "What? What do you mean?" "I mean, when I told you he was yours, I didn't know for sure. There was a mistake a night before you and I." Her voice trembled, barely audible. I felt my hand shake. "Are you saying all these years I've been raising a child that might not be mine? You lied to me? You lied for 6 years. I lied because I was scared. I loved you, and I didn't want to lose everything. I thought I was protecting us. Protecting Lucas, too." Her voice cracked, tears streaming down her cheeks. I ran a hand through my hair, pacing. "Protecting us? You call keeping the truth from me, hiding everything, protecting us? Do you know how that feels? To trust someone completely and realize they've been playing a different game?" I know," she whispered. "I see it now. I made a terrible mistake. I never wanted this to happen. You don't get it," I said, voice rising. "I've replayed every memory, every birthday, every time I held him and thought I was his father. And it might all be a lie." Her sobs filled the room. I know I've broken you. I can't take it back. I can't fix it. But I swear I never stopped loving him or you." I shook my head, anger and hurt mixing into something I couldn't name. "You've destroyed everything. Do you even understand what that means? 6 years. 6 years of my life built on a lie." "I'm sorry," she screamed, standing again. "I'm so sorry. I didn't want this to happen." I looked at her, seeing the guilt etched in every line of her face, and I wanted to believe her. I wanted to forgive her, but the betrayal burned too deeply. "Do you understand?" I said, voice low, "that you've changed everything? That nothing feels real anymore? I don't know if I can even look at Lucas the same way." She backed up, shaking her head. "Please, I can't fix it. I wanted to tell you the truth before it got worse. I wanted to." "You wanted to?" I interrupted, my chest heaving. "You wanted to tell me?" Too late, Rachel. I can't do this right now." I turned, grabbing my coat, my mind racing. Every memory of laughter, every quiet moment at night, every smile from Lucas, all of it was tainted. "I need space," I said, my voice breaking. "I can't stay here. I don't know if I should fight, if I should leave, if I should even try to trust you again. I just need to get out." She reached for me. "Please don't go. I'll explain everything." "I can't hear it," I said sharply, stepping toward the door. "Not tonight. Not after 6 years of lies. I need air. I need time to think." Lucas's room was quiet in the background, the small glow of his nightlight casting soft shadows. My chest ached as I looked at the hallway, thinking of him. Even with the betrayal, he was still my son in every way that mattered. But knowing the truth, or the possibility of it, made everything feel fragile. Rachel's sobs followed me as I opened the door. "I'll fix this. I'll make it right," she shouted, voice cracking. I didn't answer. I stepped outside, letting the cool night hit my face. My heart pounded, and I felt hollow and angry all at once. I had questions, rage, and despair swirling inside me, but no answers. I walked down the street, my hands in my pockets, my mind replaying every memory, every moment of trust. I didn't know if I could stay, fight, or walk away. All I knew was that tonight, nothing would ever feel the same again. I sat in my car, windows rolled up, staring at nothing. The city lights blurred into streaks. My chest was tight, my hands trembling. I didn't know if I wanted to scream, cry, or drive until I disappeared. "Hey, it's me," I said when I called Jason, my voice rough. "Whoa, slow down. What's going on?" he asked. "You sound off." I ran a hand through my hair. "Everything's falling apart." "Ach," she lied. "About Lucas. Everything." Jason was quiet for a moment. "Okay, start from the beginning. Talk to me, man." I exhaled shakily. 6 years, Jason. 6 years I thought I had a life I could trust. And it turns out it's all lies. Messages, calls, receipts, all hidden from me. And the worst, she told me Lucas might not even be mine. Jason's voice softened. "Jesus. I'm sorry, man. That's heavy. I don't know what to do," I admitted. "I feel like I should confront her, demand answers, maybe even make her pay for lying. But I can't abandon Lucas. He's innocent in all this." "Yeah, you can't hurt him," Jason said firmly. "He's your son in every way that counts. But you do need clarity. You need to figure out what kind of life you want, what kind of person you're willing to be after this." I know, but every time I think about forgiving her, I feel like I'd be letting her off too easy. And every time I think about revenge, I picture myself losing Lucas in the process." Jason sighed. "This isn't easy. None of it is. But you can't let anger decide for you. You've got to decide what matters: truth, peace, or retribution. And you've got to do it without losing yourself." "I can't stop replaying everything in my head," I muttered. "Birthdays, bedtime stories, the way he smiles, all of it feels tainted. I trusted her completely, and she destroyed that trust." "Have you talked to Harris?" Jason asked. "I did. He's helping me track details, patterns, figure out what's real and what's not," I said. "At least someone's objective. I can't rely on Rachel, to be honest. Not yet." "Good. Keep him close. But also, keep your head, man. Don't let this consume you. You've got choices, even if it doesn't feel like it." I leaned back in my seat, staring at the dashboard. "Choices, yeah. I can confront her. I can fight her. I can leave. Or I could try to forgive and rebuild. But I don't know if I have the strength for any of it. Every option hurts." "Strength doesn't mean not hurting," Jason said quietly. "It means moving forward despite it. You got Lucas. Focus on him. He needs you grounded, not spiraling." I closed my eyes. Images of Lucas's smiling face flooded my mind. His little hands reaching for me, his laugh echoing in the kitchen, his excitement over a simple toy. I couldn't abandon that. "I can't leave him," I whispered to myself. "No matter what. He's the only reason I'm not losing it completely." "Good," Jason said. "That's your anchor. Use it. And don't try to figure everything out alone. Call me, Harris, anyone you trust. You don't have to be alone in this, even if it feels like it." "I'll try," I said, gripping the steering wheel. I need to make sense of this first. I can't just let it fester inside me. I need clarity before I do anything." "Take it slow," Jason said. "Step by step. You're not alone, man. Not with me. Not with Harris. But you've got to face it, not run." I nodded, even though he couldn't see me. "Yeah, step by step." I turned the key, letting the engine hum softly. I didn't know what the next step would be. Confront Rachel? Seek revenge? Or just protect Lucas and myself? But for the first time since discovering the truth, I felt a sliver of control. I had a plan, even if it was only to figure out the plan. And maybe that was enough to get me through the abyss. I stood in the doorway of our living room, feeling the weight of every step. Lucas was in his room, playing quietly, oblivious to the storm about to break. I took a deep breath. "Rachel," I said, my voice steady but cold. "We need to finish this. No more delays." She looked up from the couch, startled. I know. I was hoping maybe we could wait a little longer." "No longer," I said firmly. I've waited 6 years. I've waited long enough. She swallowed, running a hand through her hair. Okay. I'll tell you everything. But you have to listen first, and please, don't freak out. I can't promise that, I said, pacing. But I can promise I'll listen. She nodded, tears glistening in her eyes. It started before we were married. I was scared, insecure. I didn't think you'd ever forgive mistakes I made before we met. And then Lucas happened, and I panicked. I didn't know how to tell you the truth without losing you, without losing him. So I lied. I felt my chest tighten, but I forced myself to focus. You lied because you were afraid. That's what you're saying? Yes, she said, her voice trembling. I wanted to protect us, but I made it worse. I know that now. Every day, I regretted it. But I was trapped in my own fear. I closed my eyes for a moment, remembering Lucas's smile, his laugh, his little hands reaching for me. And I almost lost him because of your fear. No, she cried. He's yours. He's always been yours in every way that matters. I didn't want to hurt him. I didn't want him to lose you either. I leaned against the wall, taking a deep breath. So now what? What do you want from me? Forgiveness? Another chance? I don't know, she admitted. I want to be honest, finally. I can't undo the past, but I want to try to fix things. If you let me. I shook my head slowly. It's not that simple. You've broken trust in ways I didn't know existed. I don't know if I can just forgive, or forget, or even stay. Her hand shook as she reached for mine. I understand. I had to tell you. I had to be honest. I couldn't live with it anymore. I looked down at her hands, then up at her eyes. The raw guilt there was undeniable, but so was the betrayal. My heart battled my head. Revenge whispered in one corner. Make her feel the pain. Separation whispered in another. Walk away and never look back. Forgiveness whispered quietly, reminding me of Lucas, reminding me of the life we built. Rachel, I said finally, voice quieter, deliberate. There's one more thing. Harris found something you didn't tell me. Her eyes widened. What? What did he find? I handed her a small envelope. I don't know all the details yet, but the truth is, Lucas might not only not be mine, there's more to his paternity than I thought. Her face went pale. I don't know what to do next, I said, voice tight. I need to think, to figure out what kind of father I want to be, what kind of man I want to be. But I won't act blindly. I'm done reacting. I choose carefully now. She sat down, trembling. I understand. I'll wait. I'll do whatever it takes to help, to fix this if I can. I nodded slowly. For Lucas, I can't just abandon him. That's not the choice. But for everything else, I need time and honesty. Absolute honesty from now on. She nodded again, voice barely above a whisper. I will. I swear. I turned toward Lucas's room, hearing his quiet humming. My heart ached and swelled at once. No matter the betrayal, no matter the secrets, he was still my son in every sense that mattered to me. I exhaled, finally feeling a sense of control I hadn't felt in weeks. I had a choice now, and for the first time since discovering the lies, I felt like I could step forward into it, with my mind clearer and my heart still capable of love. I didn't confront Rachel immediately after our last talk. Instead, I focused on Lucas, his routines, his homework, his laughter. He was my anchor, the only part of my life that still felt real and unbroken. Daddy, look, he shouted one morning, holding up a drawing of our family. See? Me, you, and Mommy. I smiled, ruffling his hair. It's perfect, buddy. That's my favorite family portrait. He grinned, and for a moment, I let myself forget everything else. But the world outside our home kept moving, and Rachel's choices were catching up with her. One day, I ran into Emily at the park. She hesitated before speaking. I heard about what's happening with Rachel at work. I'm sorry, but it's public now. What happened? I asked, wary. She's lost some clients. People don't trust her anymore, Emily said softly. They know she was hiding things. It's karma, I guess. I felt a strange mix of vindication and sorrow. I don't take pleasure in it, I said quietly. But it makes sense. Actions have consequences. She's paying the price, Emily said. But Lucas, he doesn't deserve any of this. No, I said, tightening my grip on his small hand as he ran circles around the park. He doesn't, and I'll make sure he's protected, no matter what. Later, Rachel called. Her voice was small, hesitant. Can we talk? I took a deep breath. We can, but I'm not going to pretend things are okay. Your actions, they've consequences, Rachel. You know that. I know, she whispered. I didn't realize. I didn't mean for things to spiral like this. I'm sorry. I messed everything up. You did, I said firmly. And now you have to live with it. People you hurt, trust you broke, it all comes back. I regret everything, she admitted, voice cracking. I never wanted this. I wanted to protect you and Lucas. I see now how wrong I was. I stayed silent for a moment, watching Lucas play in the background. His innocent laughter reminded me why I couldn't let bitterness take over. Rachel, I said finally, you need to fix what you can and accept the rest. That's the only justice that matters. Not revenge, not hatred, but facing what you've done. I'll try, she said, tears slipping down her cheeks. I'll do anything to make it right, even if it's too late for me. I nodded. Start with honesty. Then rebuild what you can. And don't make it worse by dragging Lucas into your mistakes. He's too pure for that. We stayed on the phone a few minutes longer, talking about logistics, about Lucas's school, about small things she could correct. Her tone was full of vulnerability, and I realized she had learned the hard way what betrayal really cost. After we hung up, I sat with Lucas in the living room. You know, buddy, I said, smiling softly, even when people make mistakes, we can move forward. We can be better. You and I, we're going to be okay. He looked up at me with wide eyes. Really, Daddy? Really? I said, hugging him tightly. We'll make sure of it. Over the next few weeks, Rachel faded from our daily life. She faced her consequences quietly, and I focused on rebuilding mine. I started small, catching up on work, fixing things I'd ignored, making our home a place of stability. I didn't feel victorious, not exactly, but I felt steady, stronger than before. I realized that justice didn't need to be vengeful. It just needed to exist. And seeing Rachel face the results of her choices without me having to orchestrate them was enough. Lucas laughed from the corner, building a tower with blocks. I joined him, smiling genuinely for the first time in weeks. Higher, he shouted. I lifted the final block into place. Done. See, buddy? We built it together. Yeah, he said, hugging me. In that moment, I knew it wasn't revenge that healed me. It was love, protection, truth. Karma had its way, and I had mine, Lucas, and the quiet strength to move forward. 6 months had passed, and life had settled into a rhythm I hadn't thought possible after everything. Lucas laughed at breakfast, spilling cereal everywhere, and I didn't care. Dad, look, he shouted, holding up a tower of pancakes he stacked himself. That's amazing, buddy, I said, ruffling his hair. Careful, though, it might topple. He grinned. I'm careful. Watch. I watched him wobble slightly and catch the stack just in time. I laughed, the sound light and free for the first time in months. You know, Dad, he said between bites, I love pancakes more than cake now. Really? I asked, smiling. Even more than birthday cake? Even more. He shoved another piece in his mouth. Because you make them with me. I swallowed a lump in my throat, feeling the weight of the last year. Rachel had moved away quietly, facing the consequences of her choices. I didn't feel anger anymore, just a strange mixture of sorrow and relief. I glanced at Lucas, who was busy drawing a robot. Hey, Lucas, remember when Mommy tried to surprise you for your birthday? He nodded enthusiastically. Yeah, and Daddy almost stepped on a toy car. I chuckled, shaking my head. Yeah, that was quite a day. He looked up at me, eyes wide. Do you still love Mommy? I paused, thinking carefully. I love her in my own way. But right now, I love you the most. You're my son, and you're the reason I keep going. He smiled and went back to his drawing. Good, because I love you too, Dad. You're my best friend. I felt a warmth spread through me, a quiet peace I hadn't felt in a long time. I had spent months rebuilding, learning to separate the love for Lucas from the betrayal of Rachel. Later that afternoon, I called Jason. Hey man, just checking in. Want to come by for a game night? Sure, he said. I could use a break from work. Sounds like you've got everything under control. I laughed softly. Yeah, more or less. Lucas is my full-time reminder that life keeps moving no matter what. Jason chuckled. Good. That's the way to do it. You've done well, man. Really. I hung up and went outside, watching Lucas ride his bike. He wobbled at first, then gained confidence, pedaling faster and faster. Faster, Dad. Come on. I jogged beside him. You got it, buddy. Keep your balance. Look at me, Dad, he shouted. I stopped for a moment, letting him ride ahead. He circled back, laughing, and I realized something. No betrayal, no heartbreak, no secret could touch the bond we shared. I sat on the curb, catching my breath. You know, Lucas, life's full of surprises. Some good, some not so good. But we can get through anything together. He leaned against me. Yeah, Dad. Together. I hugged him tightly, feeling a sense of control I hadn't felt since discovering Rachel's lies. I understood now that betrayal didn't define me, love didn't weaken me, and resilience didn't mean I had to be alone. Later, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Lucas sat beside me, drawing chalk robots on the sidewalk. I watched him, smiling, thinking about how far we'd come. You know, Dad, he said, we can make this robot fly if we imagine really hard. I believe it, buddy, I said softly. I really do. I looked down at him, his small hand reaching for mine, trusting me completely. For the first time in a long time, I felt steady, grounded, and whole. The past year had left scars, but it also gave me perspective. I understood betrayal, yes, but also love, patience, and resilience. I understood that life moves forward, and sometimes closure isn't about revenge or anger. It's about finding peace, even if it's bittersweet. Lucas laughed, running off to chalk another robot, and I followed him, feeling the weight of the past lift slightly. I was finally in control of my life, finally able to move forward. And in that moment, watching him laugh, I knew we were going to be okay.